the world's most advanced cold wallet for the new generation of cryptocurrency lovers.
So if you are interested in buying this decent wallet, you can find a link in the description down below where you will get a 20% discount. Thank you very much, and let's dig in the video. What's up, XRP family? Thank you guys for joining the video for today. A lot of things going on, so let's dig in straight away. So we all know Credit Suisse has problems, is collapsing. Bank of England has problem, is collapsing. Deutsche Bank is collapsing. Everything is collapsing. Exactly what we already knew would happen, right? Because these are actually the things that we need to happen before XRP gets used, right? Like, why would XRP be used by all the governments in the world or the banks? Because there is a liquidity problem, right? So now we see that liquidity problem being presented, and it's not just a liquidity problem, it's much more. But the essence of it is that they need something to the rescue, right? So let's dig in this video because it's very interesting what this guy is saying here. Don't talk about the Fed representing banks and what might happen if we go to a digital currency on your interview will abruptly end. Can't wait for expedited Fed meeting tomorrow. Full video is here. So the end of the video, guys, there is a large kind of noise because the fire alarm went off there and on the video. So don't be surprised, but let's dig in. I'll try to stop it before the noise.
Going to happen is that this currency crisis that I've spoken about will cause some kind of an event where the system gets reset. Now, whether they write off sovereign debt in that environment, or whether they come up with a new currency system like a new Bretton Woods.
Listen carefully, guys. Why is he saying that? He's saying the system has to reset and sovereign debt might be deleted then, right? How are they going to do that? They need XRP for that. Very interesting. Keep listening.
I really don't know. I think something's going to be forced on the governments of the world. What will come next is some sort of government-sponsored stablecoin, whether it's Fed coin or what do they call it, the coin now or something. I know they announced it a month ago. I don't remember the exact name, but I think the genie's kind of out of the bottle with the stable coins and with the Bitcoin and the rise of crypto. I think that the governments of the world are going to adopt what was created in the private market and use it. I don't think we're going to go to a Bitcoin standard. I don't think Bitcoin is going to become money. I think governments are going to kind of co-opt that digital asset space for their own. It doesn't mean that digital assets won't still exist and be a store of value or trade as a reserve asset in some form or another. But I do think that we're going, I expect us to continue to have a fiat system. It would be the first time kind of in the history of the world, not totally, but to a certain extent that no government was overseeing the money, right? And it was just a total free market for money. I think that's very highly unlikely. I know kind of within the crypto world and within the digital asset space, DeFi is kind of an important thing. I actually think that the world, this is not what I want, but it's what I see. I think we're going towards a more centralized world rather than a decentralized world. I think power is being consolidated rather than given away. And I think when we get into this sovereign debt crisis, you're going to see even more power consolidated.
Very important what he's saying here, guys. This is literally what is going to happen. There's no other way. It's going to get more centralized, whether you like it or not. So you can, because there's a lot of people saying that it's about control and it's about power and that XRP will actually be used for more control. Well, that's just a fact. You cannot change that. That will definitely happen. XRP is going to be used for more control. The CBDCs are going to happen for more control. It's all what they want, right? The world elite people are not going to just watch us in a free market making money and overthrowing them. They will not let that happen. That's just facts. And I think XRP will play a huge role in this crazy system, right? So you can either invest in something like this, and this is not financial advice, by the way. You can invest in something like this, in the technology that is going to govern all these systematic payments, or you can just watch and not believe in it and not believe in control, but you cannot change that. That's just something that is coming, guys.
And when that happens, I do not expect whoever wins that battle, I don't expect them to cede power over the currency to somebody else, or certainly not a private market currency.
Right. And so now I have an account at Bank of America. Bank of America has an account with the Fed. The move to a central bank digital currency would allow me to have an account with the Fed Do you think that the commercial banks sort of get cut off on the action? And what do you think? The commercial banking system is extremely important when people talk about printing money. So do you see, how JP Morgan, how do these big banks thrive in an environment where, everyday people can just interact with the Federal Reserve?
Well, so this is an area that I've thought a lot about, and I kind of find it really interesting. I haven't come to any conclusions yet, but I think there's a potential battle between the Treasury and the Fed, which sounds impossible because they work so closely together. But if you think about it, the Fed kind of represents the banks.
So that's the noise. The video will end here. So you can see, guys, that there's conflict going on between the Treasury and the Fed. They have problems. Of course they have problems because they don't know what to do. Well, actually they know what to do, but it's not very convenient for the banks right now, right? But they will reset the system, guys, and I'm telling you, and it's gonna be a Ripple to the rescue. We've come a long way, and no telling how much taxpayers spent by the SEC from the Bill Hinman lie under oath that the ETH free pass speech was his personal opinion. Goy Garrison knows. Interesting how this guy is actually talking about the SEC. Let's take a look. This guy is very close to the crypto regulations on the SEC in the SEC. So let's take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. So I spent the last 9 years or so at the SEC, and crypto has been a very large part of my portfolio. My journey started back in 2014. I was a young staff attorney, and due to my youth, a filing was plopped on my desk by my boss saying, "Here's the Winklevoss Bitcoin Trust. I don't know what a Bitcoin is, but you're young, you can figure it out." So from there, I was off to the races and became the go-to person in the building for the Bitcoin ETP filing applications, and really learned the industry through those filings. I had the pleasure of working as Director of Division of Corporation Finance, Bill Hinman's counsel, for about a year and a half, where we saw a lot of crypto, not only ETP applications, registered coin offerings, but then, of course, his famous ETH speech. And then for the last 3 years, I've had the absolute pleasure of working for Commissioner Peirce, advising her on all crypto matters and working with her on her safe harbor proposals and really trying to push the agency into a more pro-innovation stance.
So as we mentioned, you were working with Bill Hinman at the time that he made his speech saying that ETH was decentralized in his view. And that has actually been called into question under Chair Gensler. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about kind of what the thinking was that went into that speech saying that ETH was decentralized, and whether or not you think any factors have changed to call into question now whether or not it truly is decentralized.
Sure. Yeah. So, I think it's very important to remember the securities law analysis under Howey, and everybody knows Howey now and the Howey test. I won't go into details. It's incredibly flexible and incredibly fact sensitive, right? And so the Bill Hinman Ether speech was an attempt at acknowledging that the facts do change as the product evolves, right? As something is, when it is sold, a certain set of promises might attach to an asset when it is sold and might make it a security. But over time, those promises might fall away and it might become a non-security and just a different asset. That acknowledgement, I think, is still very valid and still very real. I think it's a ongoing analysis that, people can raise questions all the time. That's part of the deal. But at the end of the day, that core concept, I think, is very alive and accurate, that the security label shouldn't have to follow an asset at all times. If there are no promises surrounding the asset, then it's curious to me how something could be in an investment contract.
Very interesting, right? So if there's no promises, if there's no agreement between two parties, there is no, he is literally saying that. He doesn't know how that can be a investment contract, so he doesn't know how it can be a security, right? Very obvious, and that applies to Ripple and XRP if we think about it, and we all know. So again, a guy who is so close, who is working with the SEC, is saying this, guys. Very interesting, because we know that Ripple is definitely going to win this case. Remember, Ripple Swell London, October 22 till November 22. Very interesting, guys. November 22. Put it in your agendas, because this is going to be crazy. They are going to announce a lot of things here, guys. It's in London for the first time. Remember, it all begins in London. Remember, They are working with the Bank of England. Remember, they're working on the digital pound. So they are going to announce crazy stuff. So make sure you watch that. Make sure you're ready because it's going to happen. Here's the timeline that has been given by Riddlers. Everything is 22. Makes a lot of sense. Swift is going live in 22 November. So it's crazy what is happening at the moment. So here we have this guy, social media entrepreneur. In a recent tweet, he responded to his own Twitter post from September 4, showing that he stands by what he wrote back then. Back in September, he tweeted that he expects the XRP and Ripple volcano to start blowing up at some point, right? And he's not the only one. An actor from Breaking Bad television series, Daniel Moncada, also tweeted that Ripple is going to beat SEC in court. All these people know what's going on, guys, because it's very obvious. Ripple's XRP's Codius is about to be reborn and could be the next big thing. Now, I have been talking about this. This is smart contracts. This is crazy. If this goes live on XRP Ledger, it's going to be over, guys. Codius has been a long-running project that was revived once Interledger was introduced to the cryptoverse. Completion of the beta testing and release of the final platform would definitely be what the cryptoverse needs in terms of secure, fast smart contracts that can communicate with other blockchains using Interledger. This is essentially critical with the current Ethereum smart contracts being proven to having security bugs and vulnerabilities. Codius will provide the much needed better and safer alternative, right? So imagine XRP gets regulated, it has smart contracts, it's efficient with payments, it has the complete picture, right? Much more, of course. It has the complete picture. Seeing shared articles that Ripple didn't release escrow this month. A lot of people were saying that they didn't release escrow, guys. They did. 1 billion XRP released from escrow because they release 1 billion every month. People thought that it didn't do it, but they actually did. This is proof. 500 million, 300 million, 200 million makes 1 billion. So they did release it. Ripple's ODL allows us to offer faster and more secure transactions without costly pre-funding, just what you need to achieve maximum growth. Now, this is what it's about, maximum growth. Tranglo, go watch this video. It's very interesting. This guy is talking about what Ripple is doing for Tranglo. Tranglo is responsible for 70% of the payments corridors in Asia. Crazy, I know. But this is exactly what is going to happen with all of the world. And when everything goes live, you will see it. You will see the price of XRP increase massively. Notice how Gary Gensler labels them crypto securities. This is a part of controlling the narrative. They no longer say digital asset security like they did in Ripple and library cases. Gensler only says crypto securities. It's all about the narrative. Today we announced charges against Kim Kardashian for promoting a crypto security offered by Ethereum Max without disclosing the payment she received for the promotion. So she has to pay 1.26 million and cooperate with the investigation. Crazy, right? The SEC comes out after her because she promoted some crypto. A lot of people bought it, lost money. So you can kind of understand why they're doing this. But this is interesting to me. Crypto securities. He never said that. And now he's starting to say crypto securities. Guys, again, we're going to see a Ripple test in the future. Ripple is going to be the case that they will put there and set as an example. Create and control and perpetuate a narrative. Gary Gensler is playing a zero-sum game. If anyone actually read the complaint against Ripple and XRP, they would have noticed the SEC was attacking the token itself. The equivalent of saying the origins in how we were the securities. Doesn't make any sense. Library case, all deadlines terminated. Everything stayed until further notice. So now this is exactly what I mean. Judge is waiting to see the outcome of the Ripple case, right? This is interesting again, guys. Why is this interesting? Because they are waiting for Ripple. Ripple test. Ripple will be an example. And that is why they're waiting so that they can make Judge on Library again. See how everything just makes sense. I hope you can see that, guys. I hope you're ready for what is about to come. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you in the next one. Cheers.